Hi there, it's Liz Yuille from Old Stables Crafts. Thank you for joining me again today. Today I have another scrapbook page for you. I found a really old photograph of me. It was taken in 1987 when I was on a trip to Sri Lanka. I was brought up in the family of a tea broker, as in my father was a tea broker. That makes it sound really odd otherwise, doesn't it? And he spent quite a lot of his youth in both India and what was then Ceylon. So my childhood was steeped in Indian subcontinent. So in October 1987, I took a trip of a lifetime to Sri Lanka. It was about 3 weeks. How I managed to get 3 weeks off work, I really can't remember, but it was about 3 weeks. I think I must have done a bit of begging. And it was amazing, absolutely amazing. There were troubles in Sri Lanka at the time, there often are, but we saw everything we wanted to see. I didn't actually witness any of the troubles. Shortly after I left, the Temple of the Tooth at Kandy was blown up, and by shortly I mean I think I was there a few days before. So it was close, but we had a great trip. And I thought it was about time I recorded it, particularly as I've just found this photograph. I have no idea why I am holding those bits of wood. I'm racking my brain. I did record when I scanned the photos. I'd already got them in just an ordinary album of, you know, where you slip them in, and I did record some information on them, but all it says is me and wood in Sri Lanka 1987, so that wasn't terribly helpful. Anyway, and it was obviously at a stage where my hair was long enough that I could tie it back. I do seem to remember that we didn't have the greatest washing facilities every day, so washing one's hair every day was not necessarily an option. So I think tying it back probably was. And it was incredibly humid, that I do remember. It was during the monsoon season, which again is pretty much the whole time in Sri Lanka, because it kind of just goes round the island. Not all the time, but hey. Anyway, so I'm using items from my July craft box. And you're going to be wondering how, when my July craft box paper is cut at 6 by 12, I'm going to be able to get a 12 by 12 scrapbook page out of it. And the answer is by piecing. So a little bit of magic, I suppose. So I've got 2 pieces of 12 by 6 and 1 piece that is cut at 1 inch by 12, and that's the bit that's going to make the difference. Now, I like having a strip anyway, somewhere on my scrapbook pages, just so that there's a kind of foundation, somewhere to ground everything. And this time I'm going to ground across the top, and I'll have some embellishment down at the bottom. The bits up here are taken from one of the Memories and More cards, and it's the Always Take the Scenic route, which seemed appropriate. And I've actually trimmed it all down, and I'm using the bits off the back to do this stripe in the background, but I'll cover all of that. I think the first thing I need to do is to stick my background together. I have done my journaling already, but because I'm using grid paper, this actually makes it quite easy, because if I line this piece up here, this is the 15-inch mark. So long as I come up to the 3-inch mark, my maths tells me that that will be 12 inches. So long as everything is stuck together square, it'll be fine. Now, I accept that you may not be able to see all of the top and all of the bottom, but trust me. So the first thing I'm going to do is grab my snail, and I'm going to run some snail down here. And I'm going to get as close to the edge as possible. Now, if you had some 12 by 12 Whisper White, or indeed anything else, you could put that on the back, and that would make your life really, really easy. But because I am working from the craft box, I think it's only reasonable that I use items from the craft box. So I need to come over about 1/2 inch. So if I line up on the left-hand side of this piece of grey map paper to the 3.5 at the bottom and the 5.5 at the top, we will be about right. And then I can just press that down, and that is my 11.5 by 12. So if I add snail to the back of this, and it doesn't actually matter which way up I do it or which way round I do it, as long as I've got snail, it's a pattern that can go in either direction. So snail down here. So as I say, this is 1 inch wide. The other two pieces are 6 by 12. I know there are some of you who like me to give you all the measurements. So I am. So they probably won't actually be on my blog post for this, because some of it is going to be kind of by eye. So scrapbook pages are very much more a question of by eye than to a formula. So anyway, so there we are. So you'll have to trust me that that's 5 inches, and sorry, that's 3 inches, and that's 15 inches, and it's 12 by 12. So that, and it's really quite solid, and the back is terribly busy. But yeah, so there we go. Right, so first things first, I'm going to kind of work in an odd direction. The first thing I'm going to, is that the first thing I'm going to do? No, it's not. The first thing I am going to do is do this little bit over here. So I want this, I've run this through my embossing folder, and it's the Maps embossing folder, which is an add-on item. So that's that. This, as I say, are the 2 bits that I cut off the back of the card that I used, the Memories and More card. So I've trimmed everything around, so I've got a few more bits of this stripe. And I've just stuck them together with a couple of bits of ordinary tape. Nothing exciting. I might add a bit more, actually, just to give it a bit more robustness. And it's just an ordinary double sticky tape. So remembering to come further up so you can see what I'm doing, but that will just help keep body and soul together. But it's pretty close to being exactly matched, and by the time I've got bits over the top, it'll be fine. So the first thing I'm going to do is straighten that off, and a lot of this, as I say, is going to be done by eye. So I'm not getting my trimmer out for everything. It's just, you know, if it's not exactly straight, I'm really not that fussed. And at the bottom, again, I'm just going to cut that off as straight as I can get it. And I'm using this piece of the scissors, so the top blade of the scissors, and I'm butting this against it, and that helps to make sure that everything stays straight. It's just, yeah, I mean, it's not perfect, but it's good enough. So yeah, it's slightly off at the end, but it's good enough, because actually what I'm going to do is then flag this. So I'll do it from the back, I think, because it'll be easier for me to see a point. And I'm just going to go to the bottom of that piece of tape, because I just want that little flag at the end. So any slight wibble in the cut at the bottom is going to have been taken away by that. So now, somewhere I've got an always, there we are. So it's going to be always take the Scenic root. So I want to put the root and the always down first. I'm actually going to remove everything else, because then I can line things up. It's one of the joys of grid paper. You can line up what you're using against it. So if I get these straight, then everything else should fall into place. So if I start with that straight, that's always a good start. And then I just want that slightly further over. So that is straight. So always take the Scenic root. So if I then, I'm going to move across so that this edge is now against a line. Actually, I'll use the more solid line. What can you see? About enough. That is almost on that line. Perfect. So if I line that up there, Taking both of the backings off would be a good start, really, wouldn't it? Okay, we'll try that again. I'm concentrating. Can't talk and concentrate. There we are. So always, and then everything else I can just sort out in the middle. So take the Scenic root. So if one wanted to be absolutely accurate, I could put the down. But I'm just going to, and then measure from, in fact I might do that. Let's be accurate. So, okay, so that's the middle. And that's there. So that is pretty much straight. Always take the Scenic root. So if I put the in the middle, then the other bits I can just line up between. So, whoops. See, that's where it doesn't work. So that's at 2 1/4 and that's at 2 1/4. So if I pop that, whoops, there, and that should be in the middle, and then everything else should just fit. Famous last words. It'll be good enough. Always take the Scenic route. So my craft box for July is very much on the holiday theme, because in the UK we're on our summer holidays. I know some of you watch from the southern hemisphere, so you'll be in the middle of your winter. But you may have some photographs from your summer holiday that you can use. Although the box is only available in the UK, but you know, you get what I mean, I hope. So it's, do I want it up a bit? Yes, I think I do. So I'm going to mark this on the back. So the box is £20 delivered, and it's got half a pack of designer series paper. It's got, and that's just literally, I've cut it in half, so you've got 12 sheets, but in half. So it's half a pack of designer series paper, 2 of each of the colours of cardstock from the cardstock pack, a piece of A4 Whisper White, half a pack of Memories and More, 2/5 of a pack of the embellishments, some Memories and More note cards and envelopes in both sizes, some blueberry bushel ribbon, some ordinary C6 envelopes, and I want to say there's something else, but I can't remember what it is. No, I think that might be everything. So yeah, the total cost, if you could buy it individually in that quantity, would be about £20, well, just over £20. You're getting it £20 delivered, so I'm just trimming that a little bit off the bottom. If you're buying it in full quantities, I think I worked out it was £78. So yeah, it's quite a nice way of getting just a little bit. So perfect. Right, a bit of glue. And because I've got tape down this side, I'm going to avoid the tape, because obviously if my glue would like to run, that would be nice. Obviously we don't want tape on, well, the glue may not settle on the tape. It doesn't matter if you put it on the tape, but it may not settle, but I am kind of avoiding the tape. Of course, I just realised I'm coming off the end of this piece of card, and I put glue on the end that might hang over. But never mind, it'll be fine. And then just, yeah, see, I've got those little bits, and then just press that down. I do like glue on embossed pieces because there's more of a chance of the glue actually hitting something that's raised and doing a good adhesion. So that's that piece. So let's bring back in our this, and that's going to go just there. So I can now, and I should add that the multi-purpose adhesive is photo safe, so it's fine to use on scrapbook pages because it's acid free and photo safe. So a really good choice. So that, I don't want it, yeah, I think I want it, no, I'll go back over this way, we'll have it just there, just there. Just couldn't decide where I wanted the flag, and I've decided I want it overlapping this piece. I like things overlapping rather than not. So yeah. Right, so I've got a piece of Mango Melody. This is a 6x4 photograph, so my Mango Melody is cut only very slightly larger. So it's 6 1/8 of an inch. And again, I'm adding just a scribble of the multi-purpose adhesive. I like this particularly if you're doing a narrow mat, because you've got that lovely slip that you get with the wet adhesive, which you wouldn't get with a dry adhesive. So I can position that where I want it and then smooth it down. So that will go there, and then our card will go there. And in fact, I'm going to tuck that underneath. So this is where I tend, once I've got the sort of basic bits down, I tend to only put the adhesive in the middle, because then I can tuck things underneath. So I'm going to, I am going to line that up on the top, and I'm going to come in a bit. What am I? Just, actually I'm going to abut it, because otherwise this isn't going to look even. But now means that I can come in underneath, because I've only got glue in the middle. Whereas if you put the glue on the edges, you can't tuck things underneath. And I'm a tucker. So, which is the top? That's the top. Only because I definitely want space at the bottom, because I'm going to tuck something underneath it. So, pop that there. And I'm going to have to trim the edge off, which is fine. Don't have a problem with that at all. Actually, I want to come out a bit more, so that when I trim this edge off, it's kind of the same distance between the line and the edge. So if I turn it over, and again I'm going to use longest, that's not straight. Something along the lines isn't straight. Probably the whole thing. I'm fine, it's fine. It'll be fine, we'll cover something up. So I'm just going to cut this little bit off the back. Actually, it doesn't look too bad. No, that's fine. Right, and then I'm going to tuck this under here. And I do really want it right the way up. So I think I might have to trim it down a bit. But again, that's fine, because I can use the other bit somewhere else. So that piece I can keep. Right, and again, just a bit. Where are we on time? 18 minutes, good grief. Right, okay. Need to get a wiggle on. Otherwise you're going to go to sleep. Right, okay, tuck that there. Tuck that up so that bit's hidden. And there we go. So that just keeps that straight. If this had been down, I'd have a problem with this bit. So I am going to put something down at the bottom here. Now we've got lovely stickers in our Memories and More. We get 2 sheets of stickers. So I'm thinking I can build something around this, which will marry up with that. So I'm going to pop this down at the bottom, making sure you can see. Let's get rid of some of the rubbish that's on my desk. So I'm going to pop that down at the bottom. I'm not putting it all the way down, but I am lining it up with the edge. So that's going to be my kind of base point. And then what else have we got? I'm going to use this. I'm going to pop that there. And I'm going to use this, although I've got the date in my journaling, I do like having a definite spot for a date. So I don't remember the exact date, but I know it's October 1987. That much I do know, and one of the reasons I know that is A, it's on the back of the photo, but also while I was away in the UK we had the Great Storm of 1987, which was even reported in the local papers in Sri Lanka. So it was quite a thing, and I missed it. Ooh. Right, and I'm just overlapping the mat. So that's that. Right, what else have we got? We've got some lovely geotags and stars and all sorts, which are included in my kit and are embellishments on the thing anyway. So I think we'll have, I think we'll pop some geotags down at the bottom. Now, once upon a time, there it is, I had a piercing tool that's got a duff end because I dropped it on the floor. Right, I think what I'll do is I'll put, I want something else down there. I think what we need is some Mango Melody. So let's take this Mango Melody piece and there, I think, and then I'll trim that end off. And I'll keep that because I might be able to use it somewhere else. Right, okay, because I do like little layering bits, and in fact, wait one. And where's my Mango Melody? There. Just grabbing a stamp set and some ink, because that's always a good addition, because I've got a geotag. Yay! So let's grab a teeny A block and one of these circles, my Mango Melody. So I'll ink that up and pop that there. There we go. And then again, the stamp set is another of the options, and it's the en route stamp set which goes with the suite. So I'll pop that there, and again I'm just going to trim that extra bit off. Might have to do that from the back. I'll do that when we've finished. So that's that, that's that. Don't need our geotag anymore. So what I think we will do though is add some of these. Fit beautifully on these little Hujima flips. Oop. And I think we'll go for the black. Need to keep an eye on the time. Oh, it's 24 minutes because my camera will think I've gone to sleep in half an hour. So, right, so that there, and then we can bring, because we've got this little space up here where one of those fit. Ooh, it will. Hurrah, hurrah and huzzah. Or I could put a geotag, which I think I'll do, because then that will tie in with the geotag, the Mango Melody geotag I've got at the bottom. So we'll use that there. If I'm going to cover it, I'm going to, no, I'll go that way. That's better. Right, do I need anything else? I think I'll just add a few of the little baby dots, just because. You see, when you've got a dented end to your piercing tool, it really doesn't make your life easy. Note to self, don't drop your piercing tool on a quarry tile floor, because it doesn't do it any good. No, I don't want that there. I'll pop that just there, and then we'll go in with a pineapple punch at the top. And then we've got a sort of, oh, you can't see that, can you? So I've got pineapple punch, blueberry bushel and mango melody round the journaling bit. And that, I think, I'm going to call done. So, oops. So there we go. I will trim that last bit off at the bottom. So we've got all the picture-y stuff at the top, and then the journaling, and then down at the bottom just a little cluster, just to sort of tie the whole thing together a bit. You could leave that off and it would still work, but I do like having a bit of something elsewhere. So there you are. Thank you very much indeed for watching. You have until the 25th of July, if you're in the UK, to pay for this. So you can drop me an email, I'll send you an invoice with all the payment options. If you're paying by cheque, I do need the cheque by the 23rd of July, so you do need to allow for postage. So it's probably a bit tight on that now. So I think it's probably going to be PayPal or bank transfer, because this is going to go out on, I want to say Monday. What are we now? Yeah, which is probably going to be the 23rd of July. So there is still time to order it if you're going to pay by PayPal or bank transfer. Otherwise, do remember that we've got the 3 for 4, the 4 for 3 even, offer on selected designer series paper. Detail of that over on my blog. Products I've used here will be over on my blog. And don't forget the fantastic joining offer, where you get, in addition to the normal starter kit, you get a whole colour family of ink pads, and you get to choose which colour family you want. So that's 10 ink pads, which bundled are £63, individually are 70. So your total product in your starter kit is near enough £200 for just £99, including free delivery. It would be lovely to welcome some more people to my Sparkling Sunflower team. I've already got a few people join me this month, because it is just such a fantastic offer. But more is merry. Thank you very much indeed for watching me today, and I look forward to seeing you again soon.